What is up, everybody? Welcome back to Dudes Who Bet Daily. We're back for another week. We're back for a Thursday Magic. Look at you. You're looking sharp, buddy. Looking real sharp.
Gotta be, that was the back. I did that backwards. Good job. You think I've done this before?
How much you pay for the haircut, Magic? I want to know.
$50.
Wow. I think you got a deal. I think that's easily $100 haircut. When I see it,
well, thank you.
Wow,
I thought I thought the answer would be that's way too much. So
no. I think it's slick, my man. You're looking good. Yeah, everybody's excited about it.
So the barometer for me for something is if it's actually good or not is my almost 3-year-old son. Mm-hmm. Today in the car, he just suddenly points at my head and he goes, "Daddy, why is your head weird?" Thanks, kid.
It's not weird. It's not weird, son. Someday when you get of age, you'll understand that that's a pretty good one there. So, all right, boys and as I knock my microphone off. All right, boys and girls, let's get to it. We're going to talk about hockey because it's a big night. Then we're going to talk about racing because it's always a big day in racing. So let's get to it, Magic. Capitals and Sabres. This is important for you. Sabres minus 135 here. Total sits at 5.5. You need the Capitals to lose this game. The last time they were in Buffalo, they got their ass beat. Will it happen again tonight? What do you think?
I wish they got their ass beat the other night when they played the Detroit Red Wings because we needed to win that one. You know what happened? We lost. Goddamn Red Wings. I'm so sick of them. I'm ready for the season to be over. This team to stop disappointing me. I'm going to go with the Sabres because the Capitals are coming off of that win against Detroit. I think the Sabres are just overmatched them. And as long as I assume the starters are all still in the game for Buffalo, I'll go ahead and take the Sabres here.
All right. I'm going to take the Capitals. I think the Capitals are plus. I don't know why the Capitals are plus money. That's kind of crazy to me. Sabres are out of it. So give me the Capitals here. Sorry, Magic. I'm afraid this is not going to go your way. I'm very worried about your Red Wings. That being said, Red Wings at Penguins tonight, trying to hold on, trying to survive, trying to live another day. And hey, if they win and the Capitals lose, Red Wings are right back in a spot. All right. Magic. Penguins are minus 150, though. Total 6.5. Who you like?
I think I just tipped my hand, right? I'm taking the Penguins here. And I know it's minus money for both the teams I'm going with. But Detroit's just, God, they're just pissing it away. They've had so many chances here to like they had their destiny in their hands. They just let it slip through like sand. It's been pissing me off watching what they've done. They only got one goal against the Capitals, who aren't exactly like a defensive stalwart team, So the fact that they lost at home against Washington when they're better at home, now they go on the road. This is not good. So I would take the Penguins here. Yeah, this is just I'm not happy with you for making me talk about the Red Wings twice now.
I'm sorry.
First two games we're going to talk about the Red Wings.
It's a huge game. We have to talk about it, Magic.
No.
Okay. Well,
there's a huge slate of NHL games, and these are the ones you make me talk about
because these are the ones that matter the most because they're fighting for a playoff spot, Magic. So you know this. Well, look, I think the Penguins are going to win. Look, I don't like the Penguins that well. I don't think they're that good of a team, but I think the Red Wings have just went the opposite way for too long. Like I said, even after all of it, they were at home. They had the Capitals, and they got beat. So I can't support them. I can't support them. All right, Jets and the Stars. This one doesn't have anything to do with you, at least, Magic. Stars minus 150 here, total 5.5. Who you got?
Do we know is Hellebuck playing in net tonight?
I would assume he is playing in net. Yes, last I checked.
All right, then I'll go with the Jets at plus money. I know the Stars are tough, especially at home, but it's hard for me to go against the top goalie in the NHL right now. So I'll go with Connor Hellebuck and the Jets at plus money.
All right, I'm going to go Dallas. Give me Dallas today to beat the Jets. Give me Dallas. I think they're at home. They're very, very tough. Be interesting to see how far this Dallas team can go. Currently number 1, and I think they in the West at least. And I think they can make a huge run. So we'll just keep an eye on Dallas as we are rolling into the playoffs. Won't be long. We'll be talking about game 1 of the Stanley Cup playoffs. All right, let's get to racing. Let's go to Gulfstream Park today. Race 7. I went to Gulfstream. 2 reasons. Aqueduct is just like, I just can't find anything I really want to talk about. And with Keeneland in the rain today, kind of a messy situation. So we went to Gulfstream. It's race 7, Florida bred allowance race on the synthetic. Magic, who do you like here in the 7th?
This is a tough one. There's a lot of horses I think you can make a good case for is Florida Bred Allowance, like you said, and sprinting. But I'm going to go with the number 3 Commandant, second choice on the morning line right now at 5-2. Rowan Crichton, now that we're away from the championship meet, I think his barn is going to start heating up a little bit more. And the horse was claimed for $8,000 3 races back out of a win, moved up to Starter Allowance Company and won again over this same track. Last time out, tried Straight Allowance Company going 5.5 furlongs and ran well, but just wasn't ever really in contention there. But I think this is I know Jet Wings, who's the 4 horse in here, just missed in that spot. I think this is a better setup here for the 3 Commandant. So I'm going to roll with Commandant here to get the job done in race 7.
We're going to be on the same horse. I'm with you. I like him as well in this spot. I think he's the one to beat. I think he should be the favorite, but he's not. But look, I agree with many of your points. I don't have to kind of go through much of it here. I think the pace should be hot enough for the source. I think he's going to come running. I like the 3 on top. I like the 4 Jet Wings, not Red Wings Magic, but Jet Wings. This is another horse race right there with Commandant in the last 2 races. So if I like the 3, I got to like the 4 as well. Those are the 2 I'm going to use predominantly here at Gulfstream in this sequence. So
do you know anything about the jockey, Anthony Thomas? I know he's got an 8% win rate right now, but he only just started racing last year, but he's not a name that I'm familiar with. I didn't know if this was a jockey you knew about.
I know the name. That's it.
Okay.
I do know the name. I don't know his backstory. I don't know anything about him at all, but I do know
where he came from.
Yeah, no, I really don't know. I've just seen him in the programs down here, and that's really all that I could really say about him. Honestly, I don't have a ton of information. Now the 4, Kevin Krieger, the jockey of the 4, that's an interesting story there. That guy was kind of coming up the ranks in California. He actually rode Golden Sense in most of his 3-year-old races, and then he disappeared, and then he reappeared. Kevin Krieger down in South Florida. So he doesn't ride a whole lot, but at one time he was kind of an up and coming type of guy. So
I did not know that was Golden Sense's jockey. Yeah.
It was early in the 3-year-old season. Yeah.
He looks like, I'm just looking at his Equibase. Like he was big in the early 2010s, and then he disappeared for about 5 or 6 years. And I think of him as more of like a Woodbine jockey. Like I know he's been up at Woodbine a bit, so maybe he's just he goes where he needs to go.
As Mr. Banlow says here, he rode Golden Sense in the Kentucky Derby. And that's when most people kind of got to know him. And he literally said, I think I can be the greatest jockey ever. And then he disappeared not long after he said that. So I know I think he had some other things he was doing as well, other ventures. So he's back riding, but sort of. I mean, you don't see him a ton here. But this is kind of his time to shine when the big boys go away. Kevin Krieger, the other Gulfstream meet, basically. I don't know how you want to really word it, but the non-championship Gulfstream, which goes on, from now until December, basically. So anyway, I think we'll see him more and more, long story short. All right, Magic. That's it for that one. We both like the 3. You got something? Go ahead.
No, I was just doing this.
Oh, I thought you were. I glanced up right and it looked like you were pointing. So I wanted to make sure to let you have the word if you wanted it. All right, let's get to your best bet though. So let's let you talk a little bit. You're going to Aqueduct. Tell us why.
Aqueduct race 1, number 6. I typed that in wrong. That's my fault. That's all on Magic. Sorry about that. I got a fix for you. There we go. Malarchuk, horse has been second in 2 starts for Chad Brown, both as a 2-year-old, makes his 3-year-old debut. Debuted in an off-turf race going a mile at Aqueduct. Got second. Moonlight was the winner, won by 8 lengths, but a good horse to be finishing second too. And then last out was going a mile and an 1/8 here, had the lead, and just at the last second kind of coughed it up, but was 4 1/4 lengths clear of 3rd place. And I love that. It was Society Man. We just talked about Society Man last weekend. He's headed off to the Kentucky Derby. He comes back off the layoff. He's going a mile. I look at the rest of this field. There's nobody in here that worries me. Dylan Davis going to ride for the second time for Chad Brown. Horse was bought for $535,000. So they have a lot of confidence in this horse's ability. And the horse is named, I'm assuming, for the goaltender Clint Malarchuk for the Buffalo Sabres, who is the reason why the NHL now mandates that goalies wear protective gear around their necks. It's a very grotesque video if you do want to seek it out. The good news is he's alive. He survived it. But what happened, Aaron, is there was a player making on the opposite team. There was a scrum in front of the net, and he tripped. And when he went up, the blade of his skate went right across Clint Malarchuk's neck.
I remember
and instantly
this.
was shooting blood. And if it wasn't for the trainer, like immediately realizing it, running over and grabbing his neck with the towel, he would have died on the ice. So, guys, okay. Goalies are protected. Clint Malarchuk, the horse, is going to win today. Aqueduct, race 1, number 6.
Okay, so you told me off air the Malarchuk incident or whatever, and I was like, I don't know. But when you explained the story, I was like, yes, I did not remember who the guy's name was, but I remember when that happened. And that was a terrible situation for sure. Yeah, very lucky that he's okay. That happened to Curtis Joseph one time as well. It didn't slash his throat, but his mask got knocked off by a skate, and it cut his face once as well. I remember that. This was I don't remember how old I was. I don't know that I was quite 6. I may have been a little older than that. I don't remember exactly, but I remember watching highlights of this and thinking, wow, even as a child, thinking that had to hurt. Like that. I mean, can you imagine? So yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy. Well, hopefully he gets his revenge today, Magic.
Car Ramrod with the D, like he knew exactly who Steve Tuttle, and it was the St. Louis Blues. I had to look it up. He played for the Blues and he was either a rookie or his second year in the NHL, and he did that. And then his career just like took a nosedive after that. 'Cause I'm sure why it probably messed him up mentally. Like he almost killed a guy on the ice with a freak accident like that.
Yeah, man, that was wild. I'm glad you explained the story. I can reminisce about that now. Yeah, crazy. Yeah, Cujo. That would have been. We were playing Toronto, I think, in the playoffs, maybe when that happened. That would have been early 90s. I cannot remember our backup at the time. He had to come in and play because they literally had to stitch Curtis Joseph up and then put him back in. We were in overtime. Man, that's been a long, long time ago. 92, 93, something like that. Anyway,
93.
All right. Was it 93?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. And we had swept the Blackhawks. So in the round before, which was my first ever hockey game, was game 4 against the Blackhawks. And then the next round they played Toronto. We got beat. But I remember listening to that series on the radio. There was no television for that game, that specific game. I remember listening on the radio when that happened. So anyway, all right.
Toronto Maple Leafs.
Yeah.
Snap. I just saw the replay. Foligno, like he got hit. His skate went up and took Joseph's helmet right off. Wow.
Yes. Yeah. The helmet got knocked right off. And I remember Ken Wilson just being panicked Ken Wilson was the play-by-play guy for the Blues at the time, just being panicked, being like, oh my gosh, he may be hurt bad. And he just got cut. I mean, it wasn't anything serious, but yeah, I remember that like it was yesterday, laying in bed, listening to the radio that game. Good Lord. Shows how old I am. All right. Let's go to Charlestown, race 7 for mine today. I'm going to go number 6, Duncan, Idaho. He's going for his 5th straight win. He's kind of just a beast going 4.5 furlongs on this dirt surface there at Charlestown. Like I said, he's won 4 in a row on the surface since starting. Look, if he breaks well, he wins, and that's kind of the thing. So Charlestown, race 7, number 6, Duncan, Idaho. I don't have much more to say than that. Break well, get to the front, win. Right, Magic?
Yeah, and named for Jason Momoa's character in the Dune movie.
Okay, that as well. I told you off air, I knew you liked it. Heather said, okay, I'm going to watch it, and I fell asleep. So I guess I didn't like it, Magic. I'm sorry.
Listen, culture isn't for everybody. I understand.
Yeah.
Some people want to eat their boogers and watch AEW. That's what happens.
Well, I know. Well, that's fair enough, Magic, but at least I didn't ruin WrestleMania. All right, let's go to Papa Dude's best bet, the Maple Leafs minus a goal. If you're still watching AEW like myself, you have problems. All right, Papa Dude's best bet today, I can't defend myself. Papa Dude's best bet today, Maple Leafs minus a goal and a half at plus 120. So he's going to go to the plus money here. Let me pull up what he said. He said they're trying to hold on to the best seed, or to one of the top seeds, and they should win. They should be able to handle a slumping Devils team, pretty much out of it, and it's on home ice there in Toronto. I'll also add Toronto. They don't have trouble scoring. I like to lay a goal and a half when it's a team that doesn't have trouble scoring, like Magic. At Magic, I would never lay a goal and a half with, but the Toronto Maple Leafs, absolutely, I would. So plus 120 for the Maple Leafs laying a goal and a half.
Took me a second there. Wait a minute. I don't think that was a compliment.
Well, I mean, I was before we get to the best bets, you can tell we're taking this show serious today. Before we get to the best bets, I want to bring up, I won't bring up, there's a lot of comments about off the turf at Keeneland, what's going to happen this weekend. I would guess they'll be on the turf Saturday. Friday, they do run the Maker's Mark. It really doesn't look like they should be on the turf Friday. They might end up moving that race, maybe, because if they take it off, they're going to lose a lot of headliners there. So
yeah, you could. I would move it to next week. You have 2 stakes races on the turf tomorrow, the Limestone as well as the turf sprint. Yeah. Move that to next week, because the Keeneland only has next week on Friday. Next week Thursday. They don't have anything. I don't know if they're running Thursday, but I know stakes wise, there's no stakes on Thursday, and then that Friday they just have the double dog dare, and they're probably going to draw that, I would assume, today or tomorrow. So if they cancel it, they preemptively say we're going to just move it to next week. That's good. I just hope that we don't lose the Appleby horses, because he sent Master of the Seas. He sent was it Navy Flag out. So I hope we don't lose them if it gets moved, but you never know.
So here's the deal, and Curtis and Rob both, I kind of agree with both of what you're saying here. Keeneland's turf course drains very well. They have ran races on the turf where I thought there was no chance before. This is the other option. Keep it on. It's probably going to be a bog tomorrow, but just keep that one race on it. It's supposed to dry out after that, and then you'll be able to run your stakes on it on Saturday. And I know, like, Shotty's there, and she's like, there's just no way. You can't do it. Most turf courses, I would agree. This one, I think they can run on it, but it's going to have to stop eventually. I know it's been raining, just nonstop. If it dries up, say tonight, maybe they can keep that one on it. So, and the other thing is, they aren't afraid to run on softer yielding there for sure. The other thing, got to remember, it's a short meet, so they're not worried about the longevity of that turf course. Again, moving it becomes a major issue because it's already been drawn, because everything's been printed, because the sequences have been set. So it's let's just move it. That's not as easy as you would think. So we'll see. So we'll see what happens. Trust me, they will run it if they can. Trust me. I know you think I'm crazy. I've seen them run it in times when it didn't seem like there was any way. Keeneland will do it. Not everywhere. Keeneland, they'll do it. So we'll see what happens, though. It's got to stop raining eventually. All right, Magic, let's go to the best bets. I'm going to go Charlestown, race 7, number 6, Duncan, Idaho. Magic's going to go Aqueduct, race 1, number 6, Malarchik. And Papa Dude's going to go Toronto Maple Leafs, minus a goal and a half, plus 120, up 438 for the year. Magic, what's going on today with you?
It's podcast day, so we have got Magic Bike Show is going to be covering the usual time, 5 Eastern, 4 Central, 2 Pacific. We're back at Keeneland for the Saturday card, headlined by the Lexington Stakes. This one, I actually thought this card was a little tougher to handicap and put together a ticket than last week's, and we ended up having if you took the picks directly from the show and Frankenstein it together, you cash for like $1,800 like Shotty did. So we're excited about Keeneland. There's Mike and I both do very well there, as tough as it can be. Saturday, the late pick 5s, we tend to do pretty darn well there. So join us for that, 5 Eastern, 4 Central, 2 Pacific.
All right. And then right after the Magic Mike Show will be Dudes Who Bet Sports. We'll be there at 5 Central, covering a variety of topics. We're going to talk about O.J. Simpson. He passed away. If you guys haven't heard about that, we're going to talk O.J. Simpson. We're going to talk NHL, NBA, all kinds of stuff. It's going to be crazy.
I should get a pay raise for not making any OJ jokes on today's show. I'm just saying.
I'm shocked you haven't. So I'll tune back into Blinkers Off to Magic Mike show to hear those. I think you just haven't. You haven't.
We're professional over there. No, what are you talking?
Well, we'll see. Well,
Mike's
I
got
could
a
have made a
pretty
joke
tight.
there, but I'm not going
Mike's
to
got a
do
pretty
it.
tight hold on my leash right now. So
I was going to say I didn't. More on that later. You just can't mess up for another week and a half there, bud. And then we'll have Bleakers Off. It'll come on after Dudes Who Bet Sports, 6:37, something like that. We'll see where we're at there, and we'll talk more about stuff. Okay, we're gonna get out of here now. We'll see you back here tomorrow. Thanks everybody for tuning in, and like I said, we'll see you right back here for this show tomorrow.